Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
The Daily Compliance News for December 13, 2023, the Not Soft on Crime edition. And we begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal. Richard Vandeford reporting that Nicole Argentieri, acting Assistant Attorney General from the Criminal Division, has told Congress that deals that do not require guilty pleas or crime or a hard time, jail time, are not being soft on crime. She defended the use of settlements that allow companies to avoid pleading guilty after senators questioned whether prosecutors have been too soft on crime. This is a debate that's been going on literally for the last 15 years. DPAs and NPAs stop short of requiring corporate guilty pleas, but they don't let businesses off the hook, she told the Senate Judiciary Committee. They are serious agreements that are highly negotiated. So, DPA's back in the news. Next up from the Financial Times, in a stunning turnaround, COP28 reaches historic deal to transition from fossil fuels. Countries have reached a deal to transition away from fossil fuels in an attempt to reach global net zero emissions by 2020. The deal was praised by both the EU and the U.S., but criticized by 39 small nations that it complained it was rammed through without their support. I don't know what they expected. Countries are now being asked to set ambitious economy-wide emissions reductions targets, covering all greenhouse gases and in line with limiting global warming to 1.5 Celsius degrees over the next 2 years. Next up from the Catholic News Agency, a very rare contributor to the Daily Compliance News. Pope Francis has basically said that corruption is omnipresent and that employees must be vigilant to the lure of corruption at the Vatican. This is in the face of the Office of the Auditor General starting to perform audits in the Vatican. He highlighted the importance of maintaining and promoting best practices for equity and alignment and requested professionalism going forward. And our final story is that Google finds itself in more trouble with the antitrust finding against it by Epic, and now worldwide regulators beginning to take notice.
The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.